Let's roll. It's been 20 seconds. Oh yeah, it's been 20 seconds. We are good to go. Making sure not to cover up the lens of my camera, that being my phone. Oh, Monarch. Damn, you are awesome. Look at your tail. Look what you got going on. Wow, you are something. All right, no more trauma for you, brother. I'm gonna get out of here and let you be. Wow. I think that was a monarch. Little pale. Wow. Did you see that? You have to have seen that. Holy moly, I better start running, or else I'm just going to keep cogitating upon that unlikely exposure to the animal kingdom. Insect kingdom? Insect kingdom. Oh my gosh. Yes. Saturday. It's a good day. This is where you want to be. You want to be alive on a Saturday. You want to be rolling across town on a Saturday, looking for adventure in every which way, finding your route, make a little pay. Anyway, I'm never going to be a rapper. I say that now. Oh boy. What I am right now that I can tell you is a runner. Welcome to podcast number 20 of Ride Along with Run Man, with your host El Capitan, running man just 10. That's me, man, and we can. So come along. You are invited. The red carpet's out. Doors open. The champagne is in the flute. Let's make it happen. Together. Social creatures, remember? Human beings. Okay. All right. We have a couple of things that we could cover if we wanted to today. Not particularly moved to haste. We are on a time frame, but we're always in a time frame, aren't we? Always in a time frame. Always cradled by the brackets of the hard truths of reality, such as that of a temporary human existence. We're going to take advantage today, just like we did last time. Remember last time? Holy moly, last time. I got back into coffee last time. That was fun. That was probably maybe the first, probably the second time that I titled an episode that I thought, yep, no way that's wrong. And I was enthusiastic about it. So, as for this one, as to this one, should I cut across? No. As to this one, what's on the docket? It's going to be simple today. Very simple. Short run. This is just a hello run. I know. When we were talking shop a few episodes ago, we were talking about getting up to an hour or so every time, pretty much. Give or take. 5-6 times a week. 8-9 times out of 10. Something like that. I also said that I was going to play things loose. Play things by feel. I keep a gentle but firm hand on the reins of this here sleigh that we're all presenting packages with on Christmas Day. Stop rhyming. Maybe I won't stop. Anyway, what's on the docket? Yeah, short run. Let's see. Yeah, a reminder, I cut out 2 episodes, which is why I have a bit of confusion. This episode and last episode about which one I'm actually on. Those are going to be, well, I've already deleted them. So they're gone. However, new material is always running in, piping hot right out of the oven. The oven being my mind brain. And also my feet. So, So we're in a really good position. Now it's a short run because it's a busy day. It's many busy days into a busy week. It is, well, it's the weekend now, it's Saturday. We are many busy days in. So I'm trying to be reasonable with my allowable bandwidth usage today in terms of just my own activity level, my commitments, right? My intentions, all that good stuff. I'm still remembering the basics too. I'm still remembering to switch hands every run so I don't develop some kind of a crimp arm situation. That's important. Y'all don't need no vestigial wing cam. Y'all need fresh, living, alive, beating, living wing cam so that we can ride like this. Whew. So, yeah, let's rattle off some accomplishments. Let's talk about successes and celebrations for the day. Feel free to yip and yee-haw for me. Feel free to jump as high up in the air as you can reasonably allow yourself to attempt to do, and clack the heels together on this one. Or bang your beer mug. Or take a hot pull off of that cigar. Or look at something beautiful like a sunset and shed a tear for your brother now. Because we have been racking them up, my friends. We've been racking them one after the other. Pow, pow, pow. A left, a right. I weave, I turn the blow. There's no keeping me down. There's no keeping me down. No getting me out of the league. Because I keep coming at you. Step by step by step. I don't know if you can tell viscerally what I mean. That's a little joke. I'm fully aware that I have not the motor control, nor the willpower, or perhaps not the willpower, but let's just say I don't see it happening where this is just a stable ride. Maybe if my proprioceptive capacities were just a little bit more evolved, or perhaps a few college educations worth more practiced, then this would be a simpler situation. Let's take a right. Hey, and you know what? I haven't dropped any hot language today. You know what that means? That means that if I keep my ducks in a row, this can be kid-friendly episode number 2. This can be a household-friendly podcast. Again, I'm thinking about mounting a separate playlist that you can go to with one click, just in case you want to see all these in a row without being interrupted by blasphemy and the usual affair of the day. My wheelhouse, so to speak, which is a very liberal wheelhouse. I draw my power from many sources, not the least of which is within. But if you're going to do that, you have to make some concessions as to the wildness of the magic that comes out. I used to be such a control freak about that. Oh man, when it came to things like that, like magic and creativity and inspiration, I used to be so egotistical about it. That's the word. No longer. I found some peace. I found peace, and you know how I found it? Paradox. Paradox. One of the house rules is paradox. And since this is a household-friendly episode, I'm going to do what I do on these episodes. We're going to spell that word. We're going to go right along with it. Paradox. P-A-R-A-D-O-X. Paradox. It means two things seem like they wouldn't be true if the other thing was true. Maybe sometimes it's not like that, and one is true and the other's not true. Other times you look at it and it's the other way. For the kids at home, talk to your supervisors and caretakers about the way that light behaves. You'll know what I'm talking about when I say paradox. You might know it by a different word. A lot of people, actually, that doesn't really work. I was going to say riddle. Sometimes riddles work because they're they hinge on paradoxes. Sometimes not, though. I'm not going to go that far. Anyway, one of the house rules is paradox. When I realized that there was no real problem with magic, inspiration, creative thinking, breaking new ground, really drinking in the new day, really being a part of the world right now. It's not, I used to think it was something that you kind of had to make. You kind of had to do. You had to get somewhere and do something. Oh no. Oh, the guys who always had stuff out for free in their driveway are finally gone. Oh, no more shelving or really cool redwood tables. Oh well. I'm happy they were successful in their move. I wish them well. I never talked to them. They were older, and it looked like they might have been retired. You know, you get that look at that point in life, like, no rush, no fuss, no muss. We got this. There's an assurance about happily retired people that I like, that I can get behind. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. I used to think you had to make your own magic. Really deeply. Even if I never said it that way. That's what I used to think. So, I used to not like it when people said things like it's outside of you. Like, it comes to you or it doesn't. That kind of thing. Writers, they say they have writer's block. Oh, nothing's coming, they say. I don't know what to write because nothing's coming to me. No ideas are coming to me. You know what I mean? But here's what it is. Magic, inspiration, thinking, access to the world. It's all very yummy business. I guarantee you that. And there's no reason why there's any problem with the fact that you make it. You make magic. I think you can make magic. I just do. I also think, I feel that. It feels right when I say that. I just hit my volume. Yep, we're still here. Okay. Whew. You can make your own magic. You can make things happen. Yeah. You can plant seeds and then they'll grow. And that's just what I'm talking about. Yeah, you can make it happen, but it's also in the same breath, in the same moment that you make it, it's also weirdly something that you discover, as if it was always there. Or as if it was ready to be there, just in case somebody came along and found it. Or found the thing that it was about to be, right at the moment that it became what it was. That's some pretty complicated language, kiddos. I don't mean to wax too far into that. What's the word for the study of words? Philology? I have no idea. I think I do know it, but it's something whose connection I've made, but can't find. See? Paradox means these things happen. You made it, but it's also something that was there all along. Now that I've relaxed, now that I've come to that place where I've begun thinking about things that way, a big chunk of me getting in my own way when it came to working magic in the world, it dropped right off. Now I've got more to play with. I've got more of that word that I keep using all the time. Bandwidth. You know the internet that you're watching me on? You gotta have some bandwidth for that. It's like you got to have the right access. We could go into what bandwidth means, but I'm afraid that I'm going to sit here talking. Sorry, I'm afraid that I'm going to jog fairly slowly around the neighborhood, chomping words down, and not really getting anywhere super fun. That's one you can take up with the folks. Now that we're all settled here, I'm almost halfway done with this run. And I'm taking this run a wee bit further. A wee bit further than I thought I was going to. I've got a reason for that. It feels really good. I'm also really watching my resources, watching my bandwidth. How much juice do I have? I usually call it juice or verve. There's a bunch of words for it. A lot of people like to use the word energy. How much energy do I have today? I really like that word. I'm afraid that I'll overuse it. And I'm afraid that I'm going to use it too loosely for it to be the magical thing that it is for me. So, trying to be creative, trying to find other stuff, other words that could work, like bandwidth and stuff. It's important to me. What you call a thing is important, because what you call a thing is a part of how you interact with it. Shamans and magicians and druids and sorcerers and people all around the world have a tendency to try to interact with things, even the most everyday seeming things. They tend to think twice or check in every now and again to make sure that they're coming at the day interacting with the goats or the people or the pottery or the ritual or the lizards. I almost stepped on a lizard, but I dodged him. Very shamanic of me. You don't want to upset the balance in Lizard Town. Yeah. The birds can do that for now, at least around here. Whew. Anyway, ways of doing things, right? So if I want to show up and be the best me that I can be today, what does that mean? That's what I'm asking. Well, because I was preparing myself to rattle off all my triumphs and achievements of the day. I mean, that's kind of how I was going to look at how I'm showing up. I was going to check in, but really softly. That's not a full check-in. A real solid check-in. I don't know if I want to say that I could do a real solid check-in while talking and running in public with cars and people and buildings everywhere. You could probably do a medium check-in like this. Maybe some people could really sink in and do it. I know a guy, he tells me he can drop down and concentrate and just be meditating in a second or two, anywhere, anytime, any occasion. I believe him. Shout out. We call that human being Dr. Mambo. But otherwise, he will remain anonymous. Anyway, shout out to Dr. Mambo. Mambo Wan, Mambo Man. Now, let's see. We're breathing, doing the check-in at the level that we can do it, through the lens of how we're applying ourselves and showing up today. How's it been so far? Because it's already 5. It's already 5 in the evening. Today I got up at 6 in the morning. It's not usual for me. At least it's not usual more than a few times a month. This would be my 3rd or 4th time this month getting up around the time of the sun without meaning to. and without being able to easily get back to sleep. Today I gave it 20 minutes. I tossed and I turned. It was like 5:50 in the morning. I tossed and turned. And then I was like, okay, you know what? It's 6:09. Feels like it's been a year. I'm just gonna not worry about the alarm clock. Just go ahead and turn the alarm off and do my breathing. And then we'll see what we shall see. Don't have anything to do until 9 anyway. So I did. Hey, shout out to that too. In that breathing practice, keeps getting better. This time I did 5 rounds. That's 5 cycles. That's 5 times where I breathed 30 times, a bunch, really, really big. Then breathed really, really big one last time. And then let all the air out that wanted to come out and chilled out. And then breathed in again and held it for 15 seconds. That's 1 cycle. I did 5 of those. Usually 3 or 4 is pretty good. If you really want to like start stacking up the effects. So that's nice. But on top of the fact that I did an extra little cycle there, for 3 of those cycles, I broke 3 minutes of time when there was basically no air in my lungs. And it felt relaxed. It didn't feel too hard. It didn't feel too tough. I didn't feel too squeamish. Sure, thoughts were like, Justin, think about me. Run, man. You know what else about you likes to run? Everything, including your thoughts. I want to think about this. How about that? How about another thing? Remember that thing you didn't do 5 years ago? Oh my God. Remember that thing that you're insecure about you don't want to talk about? Remember that thing that you went to bed last night without dealing with? Yeah, we're all here. Remember all the things that you weren't thinking about when you were dreaming a few minutes ago? We're back. Oh, we're back and we're fast. We're as fast as you run, man. You can never run from us. But because I was doing my practice, because I was doing my thing, doing something that worked for me. Remember, the podcast is called Ride Along with Run Man. Whenever I say ride, I mean do something and really try, give it a good shot. And in this case, I rode those cycles. Thoughts came, thoughts went. They did what they were going to do, and I did what I was going to do. And it all turned out okay. And for 3 of those cycles, I mean, that's a personal best. I don't know if I've ever done that good. Even if I was a little stressed. Even if I wasn't a particularly peaceful feeling. By the end of it, I was feeling peaceful. And I was like, you know, I still got a pretty darn good amount of sleep. Way more than half of what I need. Way more. And I didn't get up that many times either in the night. So I'm doing pretty good. Like, I had a good long amount of sleep. That's wonderful. So that's 2 times that I won without even getting out of bed. Then I made my bed. That's number 3 right there. What up? Rise and shine, sugar pie. Let's see. This sounds like bragging. Well, I'm proud of it. I'm just proud of it. I feel good about it because I don't always do it. And even when actually, with the bed making, I'm pretty much doing it as often as I run, which is most of the time. And I do feel really good about it every time. You know, the last 3 or 4 months, I must have made my bed most of the time. And I would have expected it not to feel so good the 100th time. It actually feels better. Because it's more like, oh yeah, this is me. It's not like, wait, who am I? I don't make my bed. Like, this feels great, but it's weird. It's more like, no, this is what's up. It doesn't have to be this way all the time. But man, it feels kind of right. It feels kind of good. And I've been doing it enough where it's like, oh yeah. It's like you know when you sigh and you're just like, it's like that, but real deep down. Yeah, felt really good. You guys are tilted up a bunch, aren't you? Here, I got to pay more attention to the phone. So we won a couple of times, didn't we? All right. Then what? Then I did some yard work, buddy. Well, actually, I drink a lot of coffee. Gave myself like an hour and a half to just have my morning. I like that time. And then, right around 9:30, we got into it. Pulled out the big Bahookie weapons, the big artillery, the weed whackers, what's that guy's name? This is important. Give me a sec. Something Guthrie. Arnold Guthrie? Merle Guthrie? Wow. I know this guy's name. Oh well, there was a song that was written about breaking a bunch of stuff down and trying to take it to the dump and getting turned away and throwing it all off the side of a cliff since the dump was closed. But the tools they used to break everything down, that was all trash and gross stuff that they found that they were trying to get out of the way of their friends. I'm not even going to highlight what I'm talking about because I'm only interested in one part of this story, and it's a big story. That is that those tools were called implements of destruction. So, today we busted out the implements of destruction, and we whacked a few weeds, and it felt great. And then, around noon, I fed myself. So what's that? We're really starting to rack them up now. 4 wins, 5 wins. 5 times I showed up that I realized that I was showing up. And I was like, yeah. Ooh. Big boy running pants. In the house. Making tracks. See, I told you I might stop rhyming. I was really tempted to just try to keep going with that. I've been doing a lot this week. I've been doing a lot of workouts, a lot of runs. And a lot of driving and a lot of paperwork. My favorite thing. My very favorite thing. Forever, always. Paperwork. Gremlin work. Ooh. But I did it. Hey, I did more today. So that's 5 or 6 wins now. Whew. I'm on this run. That's 6 or 7 runs now. I already put a couple of hours into my driving money-making apparatus. That's where are we at? 7 or 8 wins now. Whew. The paperwork was really important today. It really smooths things out for me. Coming up for a little while. Very nice. And there's more to do. Probably today. Probably after the next big thing, which is riding again in the vehicle to deliver the food to the hungry people. I love happy people eating good food. I love watching. Well, I guess I'm a part of it, aren't I? Talk about interaction. I really like driving up to that restaurant for that food so I can bring it to that customer. I get in there and there's all kinds of things happening. I've been in those kitchens before. It can get pretty nasty if the teamwork is not on point. If the care isn't there. I don't know what it is. Could be that time of year. Could be we're coming off of a really interesting year period, and people are just basically like living like it's a few days before or after Christmas, and they're just a little nicer to each other, just a little cooler. It's something like that, and it's in the air, even the greasy kitchen air of some of these restaurants. I pull up, I jump in, and they're busy, but they're handling it. And as for me, I'm a wallflower myself, or I guess I used to be. More and more these days, I don't know what the heck I am, and that's fine. It's kind of a work in progress. I think y'all will agree with me at home. Seems like it's not set in stone today. Anyway, people are really showing up, and it's cool. So, this wins for everybody. Okay. Yeah. Those aren't even all the wins. Those are just the ones that I can think of right now. Whew. By the way, a little bit of introspection here. Remember, we're riding. When you ride, a part of what you do is manage your resources. Make sure you've got enough of that magical word, bandwidth. You really want to have the juice, the power to push on. And we've got it. But a part of that management is knowing where are we strong right now, and where do we gotta prepare to rest? Where do we gotta give a little extra love or ask some questions? Right now for me, my right hip on the front. Whew, that part. What is it? The hip flexor muscles, iliopsoas muscles, something in there, on the surface and a little bit deeper, is hinging weirdly, and it's taking me a lot of extra energy to push my leg up, my right leg, so that I don't run all lopsided and make a bunch of new problems for myself. I noticed that because I was watching it. I was watching it because I was showing up, and I was showing